Hey, Legacy Adoption Services through Samaritas, they're celebrating a big milestone during this National Adoption Month. In its 45 years of service, the organization has matched 10,000 children with families.
It's one of the largest agencies of its kind in the state, supporting children and families through the foster and adoption process. Today, we get to hear about one of their success stories.
When we picked up Araya, she wasn't well taken care of. There was no eye contact, and there was all of these warnings of this kid who's gonna scream and do all these things. And literally in my mind, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, how do we put ourselves in this situation?
That was 4 years ago when Robert and Latricia Trice adopted her 3-year-old cousin. It wasn't long before that toddler convinced them they did the right thing. Bringing her home and loving on her. Her turnaround was so fast. She literally became a different kid overnight. Her caseworker would ask, what are you doing with this little girl? We're just like, we just love her. And they were like, she's different. She runs up and she gives us hugs. And she visited her grandfather like about a week after we had her, and she ran up and gave him a hug. And he told me she's never done that in her whole life. We said there's nothing wrong, she just needed love. And that changed everything. So all fear and apprehension just goes out of the door when you look at him, and it's like, this is a person that really, really needs to be loved. And we had plenty of love to give. Good thing, because a month later, Araya's baby sister Olivia was born. In a month, the Trices went from one son, Caleb, to a bustling family of 5. Now I'm a girl dad. Yeah. So the whole girl dad thing, I didn't know that was like a thing. So now I'm a girl dad. Robert came from a big family, so the full house didn't faze him. 3 sisters, 8 brothers. And I mean, I've been changing diapers since I was like 5. So I've always been around kids. I love kids. I've always done youth ministry. So for me, it was just have a house full of kids. Latricia knew she wanted more children, but wasn't sure adoption was the right route.
We've dealt with fertility challenges, so I've had 3 miscarriages, and around the time that we found out that the girls needed a home, I had just had my last miscarriage, and so it opened me up to consider adoption.
But then opportunity showed up at their door.
I have a little cousin who needs a home and no one else can take her in, and so it just was the perfect timing. I think it was a God thing that just worked out, and it was what he had for our family planning that I didn't even realize at the time.
And still, 4 years later, this family continues to share their story, hoping to put more children into loving homes.
And you may not feel ready, but you don't necessarily have to be ready, you just have to be present.
Yeah.
That's all your kids want, is for you to pay attention, stop, slow down, sit down, have a conversation, play. It's not, you don't need a degree or background training to be able to love a kid.
We get a lot of questions about, do I need to be, a 2-parent household? Do I need to own my own home? Is there a certain income level? We're really looking for anyone who has a household that is going well for them. They're able to sustain their current household, and you can adopt if you're just a single person in your household.
Rachel Sykes is the executive director of Legacy Adoption Services and Samaritas. As one of the largest adoption agencies in the state, they have more than 10,000 children in foster care and over 2,000 who need an adoptive family.
Over 250 of these children do not have a single adult who are ready and interested in taking them and helping them to become a special part of their family. So 250 who are waiting and wondering, will someone come and will someone accept me?
The system is full of kids who would just love to have a mom and dad, would love to have a place to call their own, some stability. And the truth of the matter is, most people have the capacity and the ability to be a foster or an adopt. And I think if so many more people did, then the system wouldn't be so full of kids. Our homes would be full of kids.
Latricia and Robert wouldn't have it any other way.
when you have more kids, you start to better prioritize what comes first. And you start to pick and choose what needs to be at the top of your priority list. And I think having kids, and I think the pandemic, all of that played a role to make us slow down, enjoy family time, enjoy our kids, and make sure that we're creating memories for them that they'll never forget.
You could have a rough day, and when you walk in the door and they're smiling, they run and hug you and jump in your lap, and there's everything goes away. The why, they're my why. It's why I do what I do.
Today, they say it rarely crosses their minds that 2 of their children are adopted until they look back and share their story.
The crazy part is that in the beginning, we thought we could help them and we can, help change their life, but they changed our lives.
Yeah,
they
definitely
truly
changed
changed our life. It's so much more love and just personality and everything added to our family. It's amazing.
Now, Robert is a pastor at Relevant Church, so they say their church community has been instrumental in helping them. They said people just came out of the woodwork to support them, and they have a lot of parishioners that are also adoptive parents now, too.
I love that story.
Yeah, and so many kids who need a foster or adoptive family in Michigan, from infants to 18-year-olds. Now, Rachel says there is also a really great need for children who are a little bit older, those school-aged, even teenagers, and says there's something really special about a family who will open their home to a teen. So if you'd like to learn more about Legacy Adoption Services and Samaritas, we'll get that posted on our website later this morning.
Please do that. Yes,
Yeah.
Very, very good thing to do.